right, hope everybody's doing well. This is not chemistry with Mr. Jones. This is Mr. Jones, but for everybody's sake, it's not chemistry. So I'm here today talking about. This is tough to say, not tough to say, but this is my favorite book. I mean, I guess I have other favorite books I like to read on a day in, day out basis, but as far as education goes, I ran across this book a few years ago when I first got introduced, when I first came on staff at Canyon School District, and it has literally changed my life more than any other book, maybe other than the Bible. But it's good stuff. So the two techniques I'm going over today, they kind of go hand in hand, so I apologize. I can't really just do one. But the first one is begin with the end. This is really what our whole class has been about. I really like Teach Like a Champion because it breaks things down and makes it very easy. I don't have to have and walk through a lot of teacher speak. Even our textbook, which was about backwards design, I think we can agree it was kind of tough to get through, right? So there's a lot of teacher jargon in there, a lot of educational language. Doug Lamov, Teach Like a Champion, makes it simple. So begin with the end. Progress from unit planning to lesson planning. Define the objective, decide how you'll assess it, and then choose appropriate lessons activities. So as teachers, we need to be thinking about how will students be able to master the objective, not what are we going to do today. So in essence, we're not planning activities for the sake of planning activities. We're starting at the back end, right, or the front end, however you want to think about it. It's the back end, right? It's reverse planning. It is backwards design. So we need to move from unit planning to lesson planning. The district does a great job about this by giving us our standards and giving us nice little books where everything is broken down. So we know exactly what the students need to learn, and most departments even give us nice, simple I can statements, right? And these are our objectives. We're going to use these to define exactly what we want to do each lesson. So it should be bite-sized. What should my student be able to do by the end of the lesson, right? And then we figure out how are we going to assess whether they did that or not, right? So some type of formative assessment that determines was that objective mastered for the day. So this could be an exit slip. We use it a lot of times as a starter at the beginning of the next class. This could be any type of activity, formative assessment that determines whether it was mastered. And then finally, we decide, okay, what are we going to do? What's the best and fastest way to help the students meet the objective? And that's planning the activities, right? We have a lot of different ways to get them there, but we want to do it the best way so that the most students are at mastery, and then the fastest way because we don't have time to waste. And then kind of 4 ways that Lamov introduces that and helps us think through that is just 4 M's. So 4 criteria to write an effective lesson plan, making it manageable, measurable, made first, and most important. So like we talked about, an objective should be the size and scope where it's taught in one lesson, right? So this is bite-sized stuff, not, hey, we need to figure out how to multiply fractions. That's pretty big, right? It needs to be a one-day thing. So, and again, how can this be measured? Exit slip is a great way to do that. You can do that in a lot of different formats now, digitally, on paper, parking lots. There's all sorts of ways to figure out, was it measured? And again, the objective comes first. That I can statement or objective is what the rest of your class is based off of. So it's the most important piece of information. Everything else comes after that. So it needs to be the focus point of the class, the focal point of the class. It should be posted, it should be read, it should be talked about, and obviously it should be assessed. Did my students come away doing what I wanted them to do at the beginning of the lesson? I can blank, fill in the blank. Were they able to do that? So, Teach Like a Champion, great book. It's changed my life. It's made teaching a lot easier, straightforward, data-driven for me. So, hope you enjoy it and hope you take this practice to heart.